Hello, lovelies. Come on in. The water's fine. I'm just looking for my lovelies. Looking for the lovelies, lovelies. I know you're out there. Come on in. Here we go. Here they come. Yahoo! Usually I'll get a little message on our Facebook Messenger that says, "Where are you?" Hello, Pamela. We call you Pam. Hi, Susan. Come on in. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Look at everybody. Hi, Kathy. And Rebecca. And Catherine. Good to see you all. Hi, Sandy. And Barbara. I love watching you guys walk in. Hi, Carla. Good afternoon, Denise. Hello, Joanne. I'm so proud of my Joanne. Hi, Roxanne. And Jane is in the house. So is Evie from Cyprus. My goodness. Lucy. Hello, Lucy. Hi, Gwen. And Susan. Looking at everything. And Angie. Y'all are coming on in. You answered anything? I sometimes do that too. So there's another Pamela right behind you from Southern Michigan. You've been catching up on the weekend videos. My goodness. We had a few. Hi, Lynn. So nice to see you. And Lisa. These are some of my Take Back Your Life folks. Nice to see you guys all coming on in. It was a long weekend, but it didn't seem like a long weekend because of, well, you know. Do I need to mention why? So let's just start the show off right now. And I want to let you know right now, today, all of you, that on, let's see, what's the date today? Today, on Sunday is the 31st. On Sunday the 31st, my book will be in Marla's hands. Okay? I want you to hold me to an account on that. I'm still going to do my work. I'm still going to do everything, but I'm telling you, I'm not checking out after dinner like I usually do. And you know, I missed Marla's video, but I'm going to go back and watch it. I can kind of understand what she was saying a little bit this morning, but we had an interesting discussion last night of just saying, you know what? This pandemic is no longer going to be our, escape from reality. It's been going on far too long, and it's time for us to get back into the fight, right? Back into the fight. This book, by the way, I read part of it to Marla last night, and please excuse me if this sounds arrogant, but it's pretty good. I'm so excited about it. Pinkies up, Catherine, thank you. Yes, this is a pinkies up moment because this book is, I can't even tell you, it is every cell in my body just tingles about it. I'm serious. I know it sounds really ridiculous. But the reason why, oh gosh, what just happened? No? All of a sudden Siri came up. Go away, Siri. Hi, Yolanda. The reason why every cell in my body is so tingly about it is just because I get to talk about everything that I want to talk about. All the things that I've been preaching about for the last 20-something years, all of the things are just, they're all coming into fruition in this book. And it's way past being a weight loss book. It's more like a manual for living your life in the way you want, Can I just pinkies up for that? Not everybody is like, oh, I just have to have those genes. Not everybody wants that. You know what they want though? Healthy, vibrant, exciting, wonderful life on their own terms, right? And we talk about that in great detail. And the stuff that Marla, when I was reading it to her yesterday, she kept saying, wait, what about blah, 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 blah. And I'm not going to tell you what she said. And I was like, yes, that's your part. You have to write that. And she's like, the wheels were going. And this is part of the creative process. This is the part where I just get so hyped up and ramped up. And that's what I needed to do last night, was because I kept putting the book off and kept saying, I'm so overwhelmed. There's so much here. And how am I going to sort this all out? I mean, honestly, I will at some point give you a tour of my book table research because it's ridiculous. It's over the top. But thank you, Kathy. We do make a great team. We do make a great team. And you know, I will tell you this, when Marla and I met, I just remember thinking, we're gonna be friends for life. And I never knew it would turn out like this, but here we are. The book, we have Body Clutter Audible already. I think it's off right now. I think Simon & Schuster wants us to do it. We did it ourselves. We self-published ourselves. We have the rights to that. So I don't know, maybe Simon & Schuster's gonna do something with that. But my suggestion is if you don't own Body Clutter, do get the book. And also here on, well, not here, but on the Saving Dinner website, you can get what we call the addendum, which is basically chapter 8 written all over again, because the nutrition in Body Clutter is terrible. I'm just going to put it out there. The research has dramatically shifted from there. We have so much more information. And I did a short chapter on what it needs to be for today. This was back in 2019. And even so, you know, it is good information and will help you to assimilate and understand body clutter and understand this is the basis from which we're coming and where we are today. Okay, so check that out. Anyway, we have a new quote of the week. There is no influence like the influence of habit. And you can imagine in this new book, I'm talking a lot about the brain, because without our brains, without us training our brains, we're basically left to stay on the carousel of crazy for life. And that to me is just not an option. We've already figured out what doesn't work, you know? And when I talk about the carousel of crazy, honestly, the carousel of crazy goes beyond the whole weight loss, you know, up and down nonsense. It goes to the way we do our whole lives, you know, searching constantly for a guru, searching constantly for somebody to tell us what to do, and living that Groundhog Day over and over again. And my whole thing is to pull you out of that. You know, I understand what that is because, you know, our brains like that. Our brains like to do things that are exactly the same every single day and just put life on shampoo, rinse, repeat. But when we're trying to get change in our lives, when we're trying to live a different, beautiful life, a life that is, you know, less pain, that helps us so that we can live full out, so that we're feeling vibrant and vivacious and just excited about our lives, then something's got to change. We can't stay in Groundhog Day. We got to figure it out. And so that's what this book is about, is figuring that stuff out and what it is that we need to do. And, you know, and I just wrote this in the chapter, the brain chapter, which was called Train Your Brain, by the way. It's time to fight back. And it's time to manipulate. Our brains have been manipulating us for so long. It's time to fight back and manipulate them right back. And we have the tools to do that. That's one of the things that's, you know, juicy and is in the book. And of course, I'm gonna take you on that trip. I'm excited about it. I'm so excited about it. I can't wait. So, habit. Habit is also about changing your brain. Marla just sent me a note. Send me a chapter, any chapter. I'm have to see, she's on fire. This is what I love about this whole thing. Anyway, she said, sorry for messaging you during your show. It's okay, I think she's here. So anyway, we're on fire. And you know what? When we get the momentum of being excited about something, we get stuff done, don't we? Have you ever noticed that? You're excited. This is happening. This is whatever. You're on it. It's like me with the supplier. I'm on my supplier. I'm on it. I'm calling him. Hey, when can we meet? When can we do this? That's cool. This is how we get things done. This is how we get to the next place. We don't give up. And how many times have you heard me say, don't quit on yourself? You've only figured out, and you had an Edison moment. You figured out what didn't work, but we're still gonna light that light bulb up, ladies. You got me? We're gonna light it up. Hey, I need some pinkies. Show me some pinkies, ladies. They gotta go up. They gotta go up. That's how it works. The sprint starts June 8th. June 8th starts the sprint. You know what? That's just like a little week and a few days away. You can get your broccoli sprouts ordered. You know, you can do, there's a bazillion things you can do. What I want you to do though, is I want you to be in the sprint and I want you to play full out. Who's in? That's a pinky. Who's in? You know what I'm saying? Aren't you ready to clear the decks? Aren't you done with all the bread making? Aren't you done with the quarantine 15 or however many pounds you put in? Aren't you done? If you're done, it's a pinky time, ladies, because we need to take back our lives, and we take them back by taking back our health. We got to start somewhere. And you know exactly what I'm talking. I am sprinting right now. I'm doing a spontaneous sprint. I'm going to do it until Friday. And all I'm doing is just clearing the decks. I'm making sure there's an extra green in there. I'm doing the things that I have on hand. You know, I'm not freaking out over the stuff that's not there. Not about being perfect. It's about being excellent. Yeah, who's with me on that? If you are working on excellence, you got to get those pinkies up, because this is how we roll right here, right now, today. We're not going to wait. You know, today's Tuesday. So what are we going to do? Wait till next Monday because we don't start a plan until Monday? Come on. Enough is enough. Enough is enough. If you've had enough, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. And you're with me. This is why we throw those pinkies up. And you guys were busy over the weekend. Let me just tell you, you were busy. And you know what's flying off the shelves faster than anything? Our supplements, our Core 4. And we have people, I have people messaging me and telling me they've never felt better. You know, this is the reason why the Core 4 exists. Most of us have this deficiency. You can find them at savingdinner.com/wise, and please go there and read every single description on every single supplement. Read the accommodating research. Read. This is why, and they took forever for me to put them together. I worked with a formulator, and these are put together exactly to help you and I become the best version of ourselves. You know, we cannot be our best versions until we take our health seriously. Seriously, it's not all about those jeans. I mean, those jeans are fun. Come on. Who doesn't love a good pair of 6 jeans? Right? I love it. But I'm going to tell you this right now. And this is the truth. When you've got your food dialed in, when you've got your supplements dialed in, when you've got your water and your movement, and your brain is thinking about the things that you can move the needle on, your life changes. And it's not as difficult as you think. It's really not. I'm not asking you to pile on. I'm not asking you to do anything remotely crazy. I'm just saying, come along for the ride. That's it. Go to savingdinner.com and grab your sprint today. It's free, for heaven's sakes. And it annoys me when I see people coming in and then not do it, you know? Rebecca, yes, you can subscribe and save. I think, you know what? We have that option turned off right now. We'll have it turned on back again probably next week. It's turned off right now just because the supply chain has been so wonky because of this pandemic, but it's going to be turned back on. And that's where we want to go. That's where we want to go. You know, let me say this. Nothing is just 30 days and then you go back to normal. It's about understanding that all of this lifetime of doing all these inflammatory activities, whether they're inflammatory because your brain's on fire, whether they're inflammatory because your body's on fire, if they're inflammatory because you have your relationships are all disjointed and disconnected. Think about it. What is inflammation? You know, inflammation is letting you know something's wrong, right? Inflammation is, and it's chronic. It just runs through our entire lives. And so we can't just say, hey, here's the 7-day sprint. I'm doing this, I'm done. And now, where are the Fritos? Where are the Doritos? Where's the crap food? Give me a margarita. And, but while I'm at it, shoot, might as well have a cigarette and go watch 10 hours of Netflix. I'm here to tell you that that's not ever going to get you the life you want. Ever, ever, ever. But I know what can. I do know this because I've done it myself. I've lived it myself. I have reaped the rewards of this myself. And I also understand how it is to go up and down and to be constantly working on 3 million obstacles in your head. It's part of the brain thing. And that's why the book is so great. Anyway, so this morning we sent out a bazillion orders. I'm going to just tell you right now, we have just put in a humongous order for our Body Clutter Wise Women supplements, and we'll have them in a few weeks. In the meantime, supply is getting low. And I'm just telling you this. I'm giving you a heads up. If you want them, get them now. Get them today. Okay? Heads up. And if you're smart, you'll put Digeszymes in your cart, because Digeszymes will help you to digest. If you have any digestion issues, if you're constipated, if you feel like you've eaten a brick, you're bloated, you've got skin issues, you just don't feel well, you're missing a gallbladder, you've got gallbladder issues, you're over 35, hello, this will change your life. These are my best friend. I don't go anywhere without them. In my purse, on the counter. This is what I do with every protein-rich meal. I don't do it with a smoothie, but I do with all my other meals. Game changer. If you put that in your cart, anything and all things ship free. If it's $100 worth, $5, you can buy a mindful mug. $200 worth, I will give you the mindful mug. Give it to you. Who doesn't want a mindful mug? Because a mindful mug teaches us how to be mindful for a meal, because we have this bone broth and it's a trigger for us to say, you know what? I'm on it. I am going to eat my meal like a lady. I'm going to eat small bites. I'm going to chew them thoroughly. I'm going to eat what's healthy and right for me. I am going to have a Target trifecta plate. There's going to be green on it. There's going to be the right amount of protein, and there's going to be some fat. And when I'm done with this meal, I will be satisfied. Not full, satisfied. And I will walk away feeling really good about myself. Really good about myself. That's what a mindful mug does. That's our treat. That's our secret sauce. And I love giving them away. We just ordered a whole bunch more. The only way to get them is to order our supplements. And when you support us by ordering our supplements, we support you right back. I promise you, that's what we do. We've got stuff in here that's going to help and support your life. Now, you know, and I'll say this a million times, you can never out-supplement a bad diet. You can't. But if you're eating a good diet and you want to dial it in and you want to get one more step up and up-level your life, you got to have the core four, you got to have digestive enzymes, you got to have the perfect paleo protein. We've got a ton of vanilla and unflavored right now. Chocolate is on order, believe me. We have a ton of that. And right now I'm going to, and maybe I'll show you at 4 o'clock today on how to do collagen shots and different ways to do it. I don't know yet. I haven't even decided. But at 4 p.m., today, I will be cooking. At 4 p.m. tomorrow, my daughter Caroline from inheritedsalt.com will be cooking because she's helping me out. On Fridays, we do Q&A here. You know that, right? All you have to do is send a question in to me, and I will answer it for you right here at this time, 4 p.m. or 1 p.m., sorry. And I love it because you guys ask such good questions, and the questions are you send them into support@savingdinner.com in the little subject line. Just say question for Leanne on Friday. I'll answer it right here, Friday at 4. And don't forget, we have an email list that you can subscribe to. And it's not just like you're subscribing to an email, but you want to get on the list so that you can get our daily dish. Recipes, tips, how to get produce, different things like that. And nutritional information. It's good. It is really good. We work hard on that, and we put it out every single day, just one. And it really reinforces the message of eating right, getting your family back to the dinner table. Here's a great recipe. Here's going to save you some time. Here's some nutrition information. Here's a quick tip. You'll love it. So go grab that. Go to savingdinner.com if you're not already on the list, and if you haven't already liked this this whole thing. No, Jenny's not back. She's still on the road, and give her prayers, traveling mercies. She needs traveling mercies to get to, I don't know how long it's going to be another time she's on the road. I know they're seeing friends along the way, but you know, they're traveling and they're relocating, and you know how it is when you do that. It's a lot, and it's stressful and all of that. And they've got, you know, the U-Haul and all. I've done it. Oh gosh, I've done it. So today, do I have any time left after my little rant and roll there? Oh, and by the way, one other thing I would ask you to do is share these videos and share my Facebook ad if you see it. My Facebook ad is there. It's just a quick 15-second. My hair looks really good, by the way, in that one. Not like now. But anyway, it was pre-pandemic hair. So share the Facebook ad if you see it, and put a nice comment if you see it as well, because we've had our fair share of weirdo trolls or just ladies who are completely clueless and can't connect the dots. Where it's not, I mean, I had to get rid of all the comments, but it's like Facebook holds that against you. And so I'm trying to show Facebook, hey, we're all that in a bag of chips and a bag of pork rinds, whatever. So just, y'all, be my friend. Help me out. Help your sister out. So today I wanted to talk about going beyond being right. So I had an interesting conversation with somebody who I've known for years and years, and I wanted to just, the stupid stuff that this person was saying was, and just the mean-heartedness of it and all of that. And this is somebody who, really can't get out of my life, and I'm not going to get any more specific than that. But I had to let go. I wanted to attack every jot and tittle, right? It was just like, and there you go again. I wanted to, this is text messages. I wanted to get into this whole thing. But instead of doing that, I let it go, and I let the whole thing cool, and I gave myself a second to think. And again, back to that whole brain, and I've said this 100 times before, and I really, really do believe this to be true, that, the prisons are holding people who just knee-jerked and made a bad decision at the spur of the moment. And have you done that? Words come out of your mouth and you just wish you could take them back. Have we all been there? I've certainly been there. But anyway, I decided to walk away from the conversation to really think about it. Like, at the end of all of this, what is it that I want? What do I want from this conversation? And what I found was, and this is, humbling, I found that I wanted to be right. I wanted to make my point and make sure that he understood exactly what I was saying, and that no matter what, I was going to take him down because you are wrong and I am right. And at the end of the day, I really was right. I mean, it was real easy to see. If I showed, put up a whiteboard and said this, and what do you guys think? You'd go, oh, Leanne, you were right. But that isn't the point. Do I want to be right, or do I want to be happy? What's at stake here? And what's at stake is a relationship. And while that relationship is going to be somewhat limited simply because of the nature of it, I have to make a choice on how I'm going to go through this conversation. And it's humbling. And it's also a kind of a check against being so darned arrogant. Because we can be filled with arrogance about our rightness, can't we? We can be filled with rightness. We can be filled with it. Filled. We have hot melt mix. It's not back ordered. It's in. And you have a subscription. I haven't received it in months. Please send us an email to support@savingdinner.com, and we'll take a look at it. I don't know what's going on, but we have hot melt mix, and we'll get y'all set up and caught up, honey. I'm sorry that's happened. We've had some things, that we've had to deal with supplies and stuff, but I don't know what that's about. So if we're going to be right, then we need to, if we decide that we're going to be right, then we need to understand we're going to be lonely, Being right over any cost is not where it's at. Being right at any cost is a lack of empathy and a lack of humility. Being right at any cost, it's going to cost you, and it will cost you. I swear it's going to cost you. It's going to cost you relationships. It's going to cost you not only relationships, but it's going to cost you your own empathy. It's going to disconnect you from your own soul. because it's not just that. It's not black and white. There's a lot of movement in between that, you know? There's this over here, there's that over here, and in between there's a lot of movement. It's a dance. And it is a dance for saving your soul and for saving a relationship. But you know who has to get out of your way? You do. You have to get out of your own way, and you have to let go of the rightness. As right as you may be. And you can write it in your journal. I've done that. I'm right. Well, I'm right. Because you do want to be justified somehow, don't we? We want that justification. We want to just see I've been cleared of all charges, Your Honor. We want that. But at what cost? We have to keep looking at that. At what cost are we willing to do that? So we justify ourselves, and we justify ourselves with all kinds of things. Well, I was right. You know, I can't help it if he can't see it. I was the one who fill in the blank, and he, well, you know. We justify it. And then we walk away with our heads held high, our pride way up in the sky, and our vacant souls just aching. Have you ever felt that way? I have. I felt that way yesterday. I felt that way and I said, you know, at the end of the day, I love this person. I love him. He's been in my life forever. And I don't care about all of this. I don't care about those details. I don't care about this or that or the other thing. I care about him. You know? He's my brother. I love him. Being right isn't the thing. You know? And you know, at the end of the day, really, honestly, does God know? Sure. But our memories, I read this as I was researching the brain, but our memories have a 60% recall on being correct. 60%. 40% of the time you're wrong. 40% of the time you're playing with yourself. You're thinking, well, this is how I see it. And I've shared with you, you know, it's all about perspective. It's all about, this is how you see it. So therefore, this is the world. This is the truth. It's not true. Mark and I were standing outside. I've told you this story, but it is so important. We're standing outside and we're looking out on the deck, and I've shown you my view. It's beautiful. We've got the Blue Ridge Mountain Parkway all along the way there. And trees everywhere, and it's wildlife. It's, you know, the top of the mountain this close to God, honestly. And I said, look, I see it. Do you see it? The pileated woodpecker, he's right there. Mark says, I don't see him. Where is he? I said, right at 12 o'clock. Well, he's looking at his 12 o'clock. He doesn't see him. I'm looking at my 12 o'clock as plain as day. And I said, Mark, come on. He's right there. How can you not see 12 o'clock straight? Then I went, okay, look, move here, put him right in where I was, and boom, he saw it right away. This is how we lead our lives, you guys. We have our own perspective, and therefore, nobody else's perspective even counts. That is the full-on truth, and everybody else is just a little off. And we see things like that, and we destroy relationships, we destroy the connections, we destroy our communities and families, working relationships, even a relationship with ourselves, because it leaves us vacant, empty, and hollow. If we can't have grace for others, how on earth do we ever have grace for ourselves? And this is the epitome of what grace is allowing being right to fall by the wayside in the name of love. In the name of love, in the name of relationship, in the name of being connected, in the name of empathy, in the name of being a beautiful soul yourself. This is what we do. And this is what wise women seek. They don't seek being right all the time because it hurts so badly, because it leaves you just fractured and empty and bitter and shriveled up and cold. You can't cuddle up with that. You have to allow those things to fall by the wayside. And then you need to readjust. Am I right? You need to readjust the temperature a little bit. Stay away from the heat. You know what brings this on? You know what captures this kind of stuff? Stay away from the heat. You remember the old saying, you put your hand on the stove, you do it once? Well, don't do that. Don't tempt fate. It's like Thanksgiving, and you've got Democrats and Republicans sitting at the table. Yeah, that's fun. Stay away from politics. Be there as a family. You're not there to debate. And this is how we have this Thanksgiving table on Facebook, don't we? I mean, right now, everybody's lit up, masks or no masks. I get people sending me stuff all the time. I'm like, give me a break. I don't want to talk about this. I will put on mask on just for you, I don't like it. I think it's awful. I don't want to breathe my own spittle in and breath, but I'll do it for you, and I'm not going to debate that whole thing. But for heaven's sakes, let's not turn it into a thing. Let's be the people who, out of kindness and empathy and love for one another, are compassionate. We're compassionate. We drop the being right. We drop it in the name of love. In the name of love. We can be cordial or we can be cold. It's your choice. We can be, and if we're faced with a relationship where there is some sincere toxicity involved here, you've got to make a choice, to either have it or to cut it off or to limit it. And I will say, this is all my personal thing, and this is what spurred me on into this whole rant. But what I do know is this: human beings are funny, quirky things, aren't they? We all are. And we all have our things. We all have our little favorite pets, if you will, of our personalities that we think is just shining examples of godliness and wonderfulness. But that's not true. We are fractured, we are flawed, and we are imperfectly perfect the way we are. We just have to have the humility to be able to see the things that need to be dropped by the wayside so we can pick up the goodness of life, the goodness of what life has to offer us. We can't have love if we're so proud and so arrogant and so ready to be right at any cost. We can't have love in our hearts. We can't be gentle and giving and generous in spirit when we're so haughty that we're only interested in being right. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. I had a conversation with my son last night. He was so wise. Oh, he had me in tears. 28 years old. And he said to me, you know what, Mom, if I had to do it over again, I'd love to be able to do it over again. He said, but I have no regrets. He's 28. Because we were talking about life, because I showed him a picture of Marla and I actually, and he's in the picture at the book signing, and he said, those were the days, and he said, I'd love to do it all again. And, he was just basically reminiscing about the wonderful parts of his childhood. But, we had this really great conversation, and I felt so good about him. And then what he said about just a relationship that he had and about leaving some of this stuff behind. And I told him that, I said, I think it's time for me to offer this other person the olive branch. And he said, good, Mom, I'll be praying for you about that. And then he sent me this song by Nathaniel Ratcliffe, I think is his name. And the Night Sweats. I know it's a crazy name for a band. But the song just, of course, brought me to tears. And it just made me recognize that my own arrogance is just so worthless and so not helpful and such a barrier. And I don't want that in my life. And I invite you into this same place to just decide it's time to throw that stuff down. And now at the end, I want to just wrap this whole thing up because I don't want to go on endlessly and drown you in my stuff. But I want to offer you a couple of statements and a couple of questions because I think these kind of sessions are so good. At least I feel like they're therapy for me. And that's this. And you've heard me say this before. And what you think about expands. And if what I'm thinking about is wanting to build a relationship and wanting to have a particular relationship, then I need to be thinking about the things that are going to be expansive into that space and not being right. Because being right is going to hold me out of it. Am I right? Am I right about that? And if life is always working on my behalf, then I need to be looking and collecting evidence for that, don't I? So if what you're thinking about expands, then start thinking about, what do I need to flip in order to have that expand in my mind and that expand into my life? Do you have a lot of bitterness and angerness and being right and arrogance in your life that's holding you back from that expansive, vibrant life that you want to lead? Do you? And what can I do today to live a more vibrant and healthy life? Because our vibrant and healthy life is what we see and what we have when we offer our very best. And we can offer our very best at any time. And when we are looking, and our reticular activating system is looking to pick up the evidence that supports the things that we're thinking about, then we're going to start looking for the good stuff. You know? Aren't you ready for that? Aren't you ready for the good stuff in your life? Do you want to live by fear? Do you want to live by arrogance? Do you want to live in being right all the time? Or do you want the juicy, most wonderful thing in life that you can get? I know that's where I want to live. And that's the evidence that I'm gathering for my own life. And I invite you on that same path. Because I promise you this, that what you do think about does expand. So think about the things that you want in place in your life. And think about the people that you want there. And think about the connections, the community, and the relationships that you want. That stuff. It's not Norman Rockwell perfect. It is perfectly imperfect, but it's excellent. And this is the way we want to live our lives. Think about those things. If you got anything out of this today, I appreciate you being here. Do share this and do be a part of our community. And I appreciate you all so very much. Thank you for being a part of my community and part of my life. I see all of you, and you all make such an impression and such a big impact on my life. I cannot tell you how much I'm appreciative of your support through either Dinner Answers or buying our supplements and keeping us in business during this crazy, weird time. I just love you all, and I think you're all just the most wonderful, exciting people on this planet. You are. And I appreciate your help in everything. Take care. Peace.